9 seconds.
Actions speak louder than words. This couldn't be truer for the explosive finale of the Equalizer series. But beneath the action, there's a story of passion, creativity, and last-minute genius. Brace yourselves for an action-packed journey into the world of the Equalizer, where we uncover the true reason behind the location of this film. Are you ready to discover a surprising relationship behind the making of Equalizer 3? We will also reveal how the ending scene came out of the blue. It was totally not part of the original plans. Keep watching ahead to discover this, along with some of the amazing behind-the-scenes stories in making the hit 2023 film Equalizer 3. Starting off with the wholesome ending to the film, we're sure it must have left you in awe. Safe to say it might be the perfect closure to McCall's journey, played by the very talented Denzel Washington. But here's what you didn't know. The director Antoine Fuqua made the decision out of nowhere in the middle of the night to add a scene which was in the middle of the movie towards its very end. That's right. The soccer game scene where McCall is smiling and dancing felt like the right way to say goodbye to McCall in a positive way. So he called his editor, Conrad Buff, in the middle of the night to pitch the idea. And we know it worked perfectly. This scene also has a special value for all Denzel fans out there. And here's why. For those who know a little about him, you might know it's rare for him to have a huge smile on his face and dance around freely. In fact, it's quite a task to get Denzel to do that. But lucky for us, we get to see that towards the end of Equalizer 3. There couldn't be a more perfect way to say goodbye to this amazing story. Now here's another scoop. We were introduced to the brave Robert McCall almost a decade ago when the first movie was released. And now we say goodbye to him almost a decade later. But did you know that talks about making the third film started right after Equalizer 2? Yep, you heard that right. Back in 2018, after the big hit The Equalizer 2, there was exciting news. Director Antoine Fuqua spilled the beans about making The Equalizer 3. And guess what? Instead of the usual streets of Boston, this time it's in beautiful Italy. But why Italy? Keep watching, because we're going to reveal the unknown connections. Anyways, fast forward to October 2022, and boom, the cameras were rolling in Italy's lovely spots. By January 2023, they were done. So get ready for Robert McCall's final adventure. While we're on the topic, it's time we acknowledge the beautiful location of the movie. The beautiful streets of Italy, particularly on the Amalfi Coast. So why Italy? Denzel himself has a special connection to Italy because he used to take his children there. And when he showed the location to Fuqua, he absolutely fell in love with the place. The director wanted a place that felt like home, something that had some meaning to the lead person of the movie. He even told an incredible story of when he and Denzel were in Rome together promoting another film. You might be surprised to find out the amazing and warm response of the public and how the people of Italy responded to Denzel during their stay there. Their love and support motivated the director even more to choose Italy as the location for the final film. And while we're on the topic of Fuqua's and Denzel's bonding, guess what? This isn't the first time the two have worked together. The Equalizer 3 isn't just another movie, it's a celebration. Why? Because it's the 5th time superstar Denzel Washington and genius director Antoine Fuqua are teaming up. Remember the epic training day in 2001, or the edge-of-your-seat action in The Equalizer, the wild ride of the Magnificent Seven, and of course, The Equalizer 2? Well, get ready, because this dynamic duo has brought us another blockbuster. Now, people often wonder why the original 2014 was followed by 2 sequels, and you might be surprised to know that the sequels did not just come about randomly and were certainly not something the crew just happened to hint at. In fact, a lot of thought went into them. Denzel Washington, he's the main attraction, no doubt, that motivated the crew to make a sequel. Sony, together with the amazing producers Todd Black and Jason Blumenthal, did a cool thing once. They asked people a simple question: what matters most to you? Is it money, fame, or justice? Can you guess the top pick? Yep, it was justice. People just wanted to see more of McCall in action, fighting for justice. And when it's Denzel delivering it, it's a whole different ballgame. But here's the catch: the villains, they've got to be truly wicked. Why? Because our hero Denzel, he's the real deal. He isn't flaunting flashy capes or performing wild stunts. He's like the guy next door, the everyday hero we all know and love. He's so relatable, so down to earth. People see a bit of themselves in him, and that connection, it's pure gold. While we're talking about the legend himself, Denzel Washington, there's no one else we can think of who could play this character better. And his work shows that. Did you know it takes the actor just a few takes to get these scenes right? And here's what's even more surprising. The director Antoine Fuqua believes that as a scene takes more takes, one is just destroying the rawness of acting. Perhaps this is what makes his movies seem so real. And on top of that, if it takes more than 3 takes for a scene, he would let Denzel play around with the scene himself. Now that's what you call pure understanding. Fuqua even narrated a story from the shooting of Equalizer 2 where when he yelled "cut," the director realized he had made a huge mistake. And here's what happened. During a key scene in Equalizer 2, something special was about to happen. Denzel was in the zone, sharing a moment with the kid in the house. Everybody was hooked, waiting for Denzel's next move. But oops, Fuqua called "cut" a bit too soon. You could see the surprise on Denzel's face. Whatever surprise he was about to bring, gone just like that. And now the world will never know what Denzel had planned. Did you ever feel that maybe there could have been another movie after Equalizer 3? Well, the makers of the movie surely do not feel that. For them, the third movie wraps up the entire story perfectly. Robert McCall's journey has truly been one for the books. The first chapter was all about a man seeking his true calling, hunting for that purpose. And indeed, he found it. Round 2, it dove deep into the shadows of his past, like the heartbreak of losing loved ones and the sting of betrayal. Now, in this final chapter, McCall is on a quest for something we all desire, a place to call home, a sense of peace. And this is where we see that the story rounds up. So what's next for our hero? Nothing but the legacy he leaves behind on screen, which you can always rewind and watch. Denzel is not the only cast member you should be excited for. He might be the only character to appear in all 3 films, but guess what? The Equalizer 3 has a special treat. Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning are teaming up again. They first worked together in Man on Fire back in 2004 when Dakota was just a 10-year-old kid. Now they're back together, reminding us of their old magic and showing us something new. It's like a mini reunion right there on the screen. Now let's talk about some of the very intense and thrilling scenes in the movie.
You're supposed to stand for something.
For all those thrill fans out there, the bloody and violent scenes would be a treat. But some of you might question if there was a need for so much violence in the film. For the director, the answer is yes. Fuqua believes violence to be the main dialogue of the films. And you might wonder why that is. Well, the answer is very heroic. The violence has a reason behind it, to achieve a sense of justice against these different criminals you see in the 3 films. For example, in the first movie, there's a gang that is human trafficking young girls. Now that's a big social issue and a crime. So the violence gives you a sense of justice, to make the bad guys pay. Remember that heart-clenching scene where McCall places a corkscrew in one of the guys? It's all about making the evil ones suffer. And of course, these types of heroic scenes are what the audience love.
So here I am and I will not run.
19 seconds.
Now let's talk numbers. The third and final movie of this franchise has gathered massive sums and has been a huge success. It opened with $42 million on Labor Day weekend, making it the second best movie to open this weekend after Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The film has crossed $100 million at the global box office. People all over the world are coming in to watch the end of this thriller. Safe to say, the movie has been a huge success. As for the response from the public, people in general have found it to be the perfect ending to the trilogy. And the beautiful views of Italy are something that attracted viewers even more. The film has been such a success that the review aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes gives it a rating of 76%, while IMDb rates it at a solid 7.1 out of 10. Now that's pretty amazing. As we conclude our journey of justice, we see that this blockbuster trilogy is truly a work of art and raw talent. The heroic actions of Robert McCall make us feel like he's a true Superman of the real world. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more behind-the-scenes videos. See you all next time.